Hey guys, SnaX here. As of today, I can say I accomplished one of my lifelong dreams as an esports player when I started back in 2018. And that was to meet other people, right? Last year, I started as a commentator on a weekly in Caguas, Puerto Rico. And I never thought I was gonna take the ability to commentate with others. And I accomplished that on First Attack, so that was one goal I did accomplish. Before First Attack started, I started a show called Late Night SnaX, and Late Night SnaX was a hit for everyone here in Puerto Rico because we saw top players like Iking, Tweet, Rene, and others, and I started talking to them. However, 2022 came, and I had a lot of goals in mind, and one of them goals was to interview top players, but not from Puerto Rico only, from all over the world. And my first top player I had was Panda ESAM. For me, that was a lifelong dream, and I can't believe I accomplished it in less than a month. So, without further ado, enjoy the show. Alright. Good evening, everyone on stream. Today we're having a special Late Night SnaX, and before I unmute myself, with none other, the greatest, the best, ESAM. Let me unmute myself because I'm a bit nervous still. ESAM, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm so glad to have you here. It's again, as I said on private, it's an honor having you here tonight.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. And while you're here, by the way, just everyone, if you're in the stream, don't forget to follow. Give some support. Just saying.
Thanks for that. Amazing words from you, ESAM. By the way, I hope you're doing pretty good. I hope you had a great start of the year 2022. I know there's a lot of projects, a lot of work to be done this year, but
of course,
one day at a time, as my mom says.
Hey, that's something I live by all the time. One day at a time gets me through days and gets me through weeks, so I agree.
That's right. And fun fact, it's a funny story on my part, because one day I was kind of bored at work, right? So I was like, I should do this for the stream. So I started emailing a lot of top players, Spargo, SnaX, Ling Ling, you name it. I even emailed you, right? So it was pretty cool. Because I never expected you to answer. I was like, oh, damn. ESAM answered me. I was really surprised. I was really shocked. I shared with some friends. And I had a blast, honestly. And I've been since December planning this out.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. You know, it's a back and forth. Also, we were going to do it in December, but due to the Smash Roll tour, that, by the way, you did amazing. We were seeing the stream, and I was really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now we're in January 26, 2022, and here we are, with none other than ESAM. ESAM, let's start with the basics on my stream. Who is Eric ESAM Liu?
Well, I am a 29-year-old bald man who's been playing Smash competitively the large majority of my life. I started competitively in 2005, 17 years ago. Maybe not quite there yet, but like 16 and change. Playing Melee, then Brawl, then Smash 4, then Ultimate, and I've been a top player in all of those except Melee, depending on what your view of who's a top player in Melee, because my highest rank was number 68, and I got a couple top 10 wins.
Hey, that's still top 100, right?
Yeah, I was very upset that it wasn't 69th, because that was the year I retired, and I was just like, okay, I just want to be 69, and then 68, and I remember messaging whoever was 69, I think it was Squid, and I was like, please, can I have the number 69, can we just trade? And he was like, absolutely not. And I was like, oh, damn it.
Wow. Well, you know what? 68 is still a good number, but 69 would have been amazing. I mean, I wouldn't lie.
That exactly. It would have been so hype.
So, ESAM, you've been going through Smash Ultimate, Smash Melee. Let's talk quick. Which one was your favorite Smash?
I mean, in terms of the game itself, Ultimate.
Okay.
I think Ultimate's like the best version of the post-Melee games. because Melee is obviously very different, but Brawl, Smash 4, Ultimate, or at least like Smash 4 was better Brawl, and Ultimate was better Smash 4. So in terms of that, it's that. But in terms of like the time in my life, I would probably say Smash 4.
Okay.
Because like Ultimate's really cool, but it's just like a bigger and better version of what Smash 4 had. But Smash 4 was special because it went from like, oh, this is like you're playing in literally people's houses back in Melee and Brawl, and you had this weird LAN center that you had locals at that we're pretty sure was a sketchy place that was like money laundering. But you know, they had CRTs.
Okay.
So we take those. And then, you know, Brawl started to get bigger and I would travel, you know, 3 to 6 maybe times a year for majors. And then Smash 4 happened and it exploded. There were so many tournaments. The size of them was insane. Like it just didn't make sense almost how big the tournaments were. Like I remember the first Smash Con had like 800, 900 people, and we had missed the Apex that year, which was like 1,000 people. And it was just like, whoa, this is so many people. I've never had fans before. Because back in the Brawl scene, like, we were all close enough that it was basically just like, oh, like, we're all kind of friends. Like, we all know at least of each other. You know, there wasn't any like, oh my god, you're this player, because we all know each other, right? So it was Smash 4 was really special because it kind of broke that into actually esports type feel, which is really cool. And then, I mean, objectively, it's Ultimate because it's cooler and I have more fans and it's very fun to see people and I've won more majors, but like, you know, Smash 4 changed my perspective, if that makes sense.
True. And back then, Melee was a very small game. And it's funny because 2022, we see Melee as a big game, a very respected game that, you know, to this day, people play competitively. And before I go a little bit further, you signed up for the Ludwig Championship Series, right?
Yes, I did. LCS 4.
Yeah, and you've been coming back to Melee slowly but surely, and I've seen on your streams because, you know, I hop on every morning, you know, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm, you know, putting my hair back, I'm like, oh, let me watch some ESAM. So I've seen that you've taken out Samus and Fox, so it's very interesting that you're coming back to Melee, and people who are big as Ludwig are sponsoring this type of event, and it's getting more respected. Do you believe it's like that, you know, because of the outreach that it's going, people are like respecting more Melee?
So the thing about like Ludwig, of course, started as a Melee player. Like he was, before he was, you know, big streamer, big content man, he was a Smash player, and he was actually a Smash 4 player, and then turned to Melee, and then started commentating, and that's kind of the pipeline for him, like starting streaming and then becoming Ludwig that we know today. He's hosted obviously a couple of the majors, but he's just always been very supportive of the Melee scene, which is really cool because it allows, you know, Melee to be more in the mainstream. Like I think, you know, people like Ludwig, even though he of course was from the scene originally, is still really, really cool. The fact that he supports the scene that way. Sorry, I was burping a little bit.
Don't worry.
But like, so it's really cool that he will support the scene like that because it's where he came from, and I feel like that's a really cool way to give back. I mean, he's given more money to the scene than any one individual person, I'm pretty sure. So people like him, people like Moist Critical, like the bigger streamers, like either picking up players, sponsoring players, in Critical's case with like Moist Esports, and then Ludwig just hosting all of these tournaments and commentating and making videos and stuff, really just puts specifically Melee, of course, in the mainstream. I think he does like Ultimate. I'm aware of this. It's just Ultimate's netcode is so poor to the point where he doesn't want to make a big money tournament for Ultimate online because it's Ultimate Online.
True.
It's one of the reasons also like the Quarantine series or the Soaked series that Most Critical was doing stopped because they were like, man, online sucks.
Yeah. You guys had some problems when COVID started. I was saying it was funny because I was watching that documentary, and a lot of problems happened. You know, the tournament couldn't go on further. There was big money on the line, right? Perfect. That's beautiful. But
they had like $10,000. Yeah, I think several tournaments.
And that's amazing. However, you cannot run a tournament with horrible servers. Like,
you can. It's just not advised.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's, you know, it's not comfortable for the player.
Yeah, of course. It's not the same game. Like Ultimate Online is still a good game. It's just not nearly the same as, Ultimate offline. Like it's a completely different game. Like I'm so glad that like events came back for a little bit. Obviously, Omicron slowing some events down. A couple of events got canceled. But like overall, the level of play that we have seen since like Summit has been ridiculous.
True, yeah. And going back a bit to the question on who is ESAM, you were talking in one of your. My bad, never mind. On Glitch 8.5, you won. You won first place.
Hell yeah.
And that was a wonderful match. But you beat none other than MK Leo. And it's funny because I didn't have the question on my list, and a friend told me you should tell him. That's kind of fun because people don't know how it feels to beat MK Leo. And I ask you, how does it feel that you beat one of the best players on Smash?
The best player in Ultimate at the very least.
True.
I mean, it feels really cool. It's one of those. It's definitely validating to my skill because obviously, like Pikachu's busted, and I'm aware of this. But also, I hold myself in high regard, and just playing against a lot of top players. But of course, you asked about Leo, and doing well always feels good because it's like, man, he's clearly the best player in the world. There is zero argument of if he's the best player in the world or not, right?
True.
He's won literally everything he's entered except for Summit and Glitch. Like he's won every other event that he's gone to, which is that's so stupid. Like that's an insane stat. It's ridiculous. So being able to beat him, especially on a character like Byleth, especially his Joker, because I was never able to beat his Joker before quarantine. Every time I lost, it was game 5. Like I lost, I beat his Marth and his Lucina, and then I lost to his Joker twice. But both of the Joker sets were game 5. I almost reversed 3-0 Leo, which would have been crazy, actually. But it's one of those things to me that's just like, it's really cool to just know that I can play with the best of the best. It's the same thing with Light. It's the same thing with Cola. It's the same thing with all these other top players that I do well against. Even if I don't necessarily beat them, of course, winning is better than doing well but losing. But it's still really satisfying to do well versus these players, and of course, winning a major with several other top 10 NA talent and beating Leo twice. It felt really good. It felt amazing.
I mean, I would have been in your shoes and I would have been trembling because, I don't know, going to the top stage with a top player, that must feel amazing, honestly.
It's really fun. Like, the thing is, like, obviously, I've been a top player for a long time, so being, like I'm used to the stage, I'm used to the pressure, I'm used to playing all these top players because I've played top players since 2009 was when I first played. Like, I think, like, December of 2009 was when I first played against Mewtwo King in Brawl, and he was at the time the best Brawl player, like clearly. I think it was December 2000. It might have been December 2008. It might have been December. Yeah, it was December 2009 because that's when me and MVD teamed for the first time. But like that type of thing was like, whoa, it's Mewtwo King. Oh my god, I'm playing against a top player, and I lost pretty bad. Like pretty bad. It was not a good set. But since then, obviously, I've done it a lot more. I became a top Brawl player, top Smash 4 player, so I was playing with the best of the best all the time. So I'm used to that, but then at the same time, playing against them in a game that I love in a way that is just so fun and like thought-provoking in terms of the game, and exhilarating and exciting, nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. It's amazing. It's perfect.
So you're trying to say that by the experiences you've gotten through the years, pressure has been less. You've been more comfortable while playing. You take critiques like a champ. So year by year, you're improving more as psychologically. Like you're playing and you just erase. It's like you're playing alone.
Basically, I mean, because you get used to it, and obviously winning doesn't get easier. Well, I mean, technically it does because you get better. But one of those like. If you think about it, like, if you do something more and more and more, you're going to get more comfortable doing so, and it's going to be less novel and less scary, even if it's still just as fun. Like, it's still just as fun to play the top players as it ever was. I love playing top players in in Ultimate and Smash 4 and Brawl, everything. It's been so fun. But it's just less scary because it's more like something I look forward to as opposed to something I hope happens, if that makes sense.
Yes, I do understand that because I have a friend. We have a friend in the community. He's a top player right now. His name is Eking. Maybe you've heard of him.
I think so.
Yeah, he's a Pac-Man main.
Yes.
All right, so it's pretty fun because I'm basically, let's just admit it, I'm not that good at the game. Let's just say I enjoy the game, I commentate the game, so I just have fun. However, when I started playing Smash and my other friends, that they teach me that I need to be more calmed, more like into like if it was a friendly, like if I was having fun, because people take the game too deep, you know, and sometimes when you take the game too deep, you personally do worse because you're so concentrated on winning, and you're not. I'm personally me. I'm more concentrated on having fun, just creating friends, making connections, and all that. But if I go
Yeah.
competitively, I think I just go like I put music on, maybe instrumental, and I'm gone. I don't even know that
Right.
I'm playing. So do you like do that, or did you start doing that by the times?
Well, I don't listen to music for when I'm playing just because I like to hear the game audio, but it's less so like it's an interesting dynamic, right? Because you want to take it less seriously in terms of you don't want to put so much pressure on yourself to the point where
Hmm.
you crumble. Because I've had experiences of that even recently. Well, not super recently because it was 2019, but like Evo 2019, the first Ultimate one, I had seen some of my fellow pandas like get top eight in their games on like Friday before I even played. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. I want to be up there like them. And that thought and like me just potentially doing really well and winning got so far in my head that I played like garbage the entire day. I did not like how I played against a single player. Both in my wins and my losses. Like my wins, I was like, just trying to like snap out of it. I was like hitting my legs. I was kind of just like, come on, I know I can do this type of thing. And like I was
Okay.
just playing bad because I put so much pressure on myself to do well because top eighting the first Ultimate Evo would have been huge, and it was huge for the
True,
people that
true.
did it. Shout outs, Proto, Raito, Leo, Tweak, of course, the Buzz, Gluto. I don't remember the other ones. I think Light. Yeah, because Light got bodied by Proto. Shout outs to all those, but I put a huge amount of pressure on myself thinking that I wanted to win and do really well. But the times that I have less pressure on myself, I tend to do better.
Hmm.
Like Glitch, that was my first event post pandemic. I had not gone to Riptide. I didn't go to, I think there was one before that as well. I didn't go to Summit. And I was like, I'm just going to go here to have a good time, kind of reacclimate myself. I'm probably going to be really anxious because I haven't been in a large group of people since before the pandemic, and it was going to be a lot. And I was just playing. I was just playing to play well, and I played a ton of friendlies, and I was like, wow, I'm playing really well. This is really cool. And then I kept playing well, and I kept playing well, and I started beating people, and then I like beat my round one and round two pools. I did well in doubles with Zomba. Shoutouts to Zomba. I did I beat Bonk, and then I was like, oh man, if I beat Bonk and Leo beats Pink Fresh, I have to play Leo. I'm pretty confident versus Leo. Then I beat Leo, and then I beat Light, and then I beat Cola, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I have no expectation of myself. I'm not expecting myself to win, but I was just winning. It was crazy. It was incredible. And then I won the tournament, and then the next event, Super Smash Con, I had so much pressure on myself
Okay.
because I was the number one seed and I wanted to replicate that, and then I got like 17th. Because I mean, granted, played different people, of course, but like I beat people that I realistically should have beaten in Apollo Kage. Again, this is no shots to them. Like I'm really good versus Snake, so I should have been able to beat Apollo Kage, but I didn't play up to my standards. And then Icy Mist destroyed me. She bodied me really bad. But like I shouldn't have even been in that situation because I should have still been winners type of thing, and I did poorly. And then when I didn't have pressure on myself at CEO, I got top eight, and I put pressure on myself at main stage because I wanted the summit invite, and I got 13th. And which was still good. And I lost to Gluto and Spargo. Oh no, two top seven players in the world. But like I didn't play up to my standards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true, true.
So pressure, it's this weird thing because, of course, nowadays there's so much money and there's all these things, and if I do well, it does better for my Twitch and my YouTube and
Yes.
all that. Like, it feeds into itself.
They're
But at the
thinking
same
more of a
time,
brand. They're thinking more
exactly.
independently.
Yeah, but at the same time, still really fun to just play the game because you love it. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be because you're winning or
Exactly.
because you want to just win every single event and you're not allowed to lose.
Exactly. Exactly. Before we continue, I have a couple of friends who are actually doing some questions that I was going to tell you afterwards, but I told my viewers that if they had some questions, just to highlight them, and I'll tell you if you can answer them.
Okay.
Blender, a good TO of Puerto Rico, says, when's ESAM coming with NVD to First Attack? Just in case, First Attack is a tournament here, a major here in
Yeah,
Puerto Rico.
of
Um,
course.
but let's talk about that. What do you think? You think Puerto Rico might be a destination that you might consider?
I mean, I considered coming to First Attack a couple of years ago. I think it was the last Smash 4 year or something like that.
Okay.
I love traveling to new places. I've traveled many places over the world. Of course, it is very hard for me to give a definitive answer because the state of the world. I don't know if I say
True.
yes now and then 7 months from now there's a super deadly evil, variant.
True.
Uh,
True.
but I will 100% keep it in mind because I would love to go and travel. I think MVD is Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
so that is returning to his roots. Whereas for me, I'm Cuban, or half Cuban. My dad's Cuban.
Okay.
So, but it would still be a very fun destination for me, even if it's not where I'm from. I would love to do it.
All right. Let's go with Dr. Nomad. Do you plan keeping Steve as a secondary?
For the moment, yes, but I need more offline practice with him, and he's really, really difficult. So I'm trying to think in terms of the ease of use of characters. I was playing Pyramithra for a week, and I feel like they did really well, and they were pretty easy relative to Steve. And because
Hmm.
like the thing is, for secondaries, it's like, oh, if I'm not playing well with my really complex main Pikachu, um, well, I do well with my really complex secondary Steve.
True. True.
Uh, it's hard to say. So I would love a simpler character, but I really think Steve is kind of broken. Like Steve is really good. He's an incredibly good character.
He's
And I
annoying.
yes,
I play with Steve, and my God, no, I can't handle them. They're really
yeah, he's
annoying.
really really annoying. No habla español. I apologize. My dad did not teach me growing up, and I
Oh,
never took classes for it. I just saw chat. Um, but like I know it a little. I can do specific lines and then kind of fill in the blank. But no habla español.
okay. Continue the questions. Um, what does ESAM recommend to increase the exposure of Puerto Rico competitive scene for TOs and leaders?
It's really hard because, of course, there's so many, underrepresented and under known about scenes, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like it's impossible for that not to be the case because there's always going to be more. There's always going to be another one. But I feel like one of the things that can happen is people go to the scene, people go to First Attack, or the top Puerto Rican players go to events and get noticed. And obviously, it's really hard because going to big majors, it's like you can still get 65th, losing to MK Leo, and then the top player that got upset. So even if you travel all that way, you still might do poorly, which sucks. Um, but I think honestly, a big way to do it is to have players come out
Hmm.
and then know what and then share their experiences. That's one of the main reasons that Mexico became like super known about is in the Smash. Like there was a couple of melee players. There was Javi and Twin A, which I think is Javi's twin. Come to melee tournaments and they did really well, which was the harder variant. But then in Smash 4, Mr. R the week after Evo went to Mexico and played against MK Leo and got destroyed, and everyone was like, "What the hell is happening?" And then as MK Leo started traveling, he starts saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, like Mexico's really good. Like I don't win this easily, or like I don't do nearly as well very easily in Mexico." And then players like in Smash 4, Javi started doing really well and started traveling and stuff like that. And then in Ultimate, it became at the end of Smash 4, it was Meister, and it was Reggie, and it was Leo, and it was Javi. And then Ultimate happened, and then it was Leo and Meister. And then it was after that, Spargo and Chag, and all the great Mexican players that you know now. So it's a really big deal to get people to come to the country and then talk about it, I guess. Or I guess it's not a country exactly, but because haha, the US sucks. But yeah, I mean it's getting people to go there and and thereby getting exposure for the scene, which isn't easy and it can be expensive.
True. And if I can say an example for now, you said MK Leo, which is an amazing example right now. But Capitancito and SnaX, they did great. At least SnaX did great back on Smash World Tour. So
I love both of them. They're great.
they're amazing. They're amazing people. I met them on First Attack, and I met Capitancito on First Attack. Amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And exactly, that's how you get exposure when you beat like someone top. Oh my God, SnaX, Dominican Republic player, beat this person. I don't recall. Maybe I'm wrong. He did beat Tweak, right? I don't remember.
He beat Tweak and Buzz and Riddles, I think.
Exactly. He did pretty good.
And like he had his surge of results in the online era, and then he's been carrying that to offline, and he's been destroying the Las Vegas scene like pretty bad as far as I'm aware. Like I don't think he's lost a single tournament there, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, he has done great. He has done great. All right, continuing the questions. Gabs, another great friend of mine, says, "Do you have a favorite stage soundtrack, or do you just choose random?"
I don't really have a stage, or I mean, like my favorite music would probably overall be, at least in Ultimate, Donkey Kong music. It's just bangers. It's just bangers after banger after banger. But obviously that's not legal. But if I play Battlefield, sometimes I'll choose that, or I'll just choose the Melee target test song, like the.
Oh yes.
Like that song just goes. It's so good. But yeah, most of the times I'll just let it kind of play what it's going to play because I'm not really too concerned about the music for the most part.
Yeah, you're just concentrated on winning, and it's over. Adios. I'm going to another set.
Rude.
My friend Chopper has another question, and we finish here and we do the others. What's your recommendation for commentary knowledge and studying the game?
Following the top players that play characters that you don't understand as much.
Okay.
Like I think it would be really valuable if you wanted to learn Pika to like follow me, whether it's on Twitter or Twitch, or like watch my YouTube videos and stuff like that. There's a ton of content that is just like explaining how stuff works, and it can be really difficult. And just remember that it's okay to be wrong. Like one of the biggest things, because I'm pretty critical. At least I used to be. I kind of stopped because it was pointless. But I used to be pretty critical of when commentators would like matter-of-factly say incorrect things, and it's just like you have to be okay with being wrong and people correcting you because it's not like an affront to your commentary skills whether you misspoke or whether you don't know something. Like it's all a learning process. We're all learning. We're all getting better, like all the time. So just trying to watch the videos and understand the characters and play the game. Maybe play those characters if you are very very clueless. Stuff like that helps, but it's all just constant growth and knowing that it's okay to be wrong.
Pretty nice, because Chopper was the one who taught me to be a commentator on Puerto Rico, and I started commentating maybe I think on July. I don't recall. So
that's pretty recent.
Yeah, it's pretty recent, and I never knew I had maybe the potential because I'm not.
You have a great voice.
I mean, I have a deep voice, and I can change it by the time. But I'm more of a color commentator. I just have fun. I'm like, oh my, oh shit, oh damn, and I have fun. And I've learned through the times that there's different types of commentating depending on which tournament you're in. Because when I'm in weeklies, I usually commentate just for fun. So I'm like, yeah, I curse. Maybe not that, curse horribly. It's like, oh shit, maybe that.
Yeah, of course.
But when I went to First Attack with Chopper, oh my god, I was like with a headache because I said, I usually curse a lot. Let me tone it down. Let me go more relaxed. So depending on majors or depending on which tournament you go, you gotta be more professional. You gotta be more clean, more proper, more PG. Because
Yeah,
we got to think about the game. The game is not rated M, it's rated E for everyone. So it's.
I think it's T.
Oh, did it change?
Maybe? Am I right? Am I wrong?
I think it's rated E
Ultimate.
for E10 and up, I think.
It is. You're right.
So, oh, it was T for Brawl, says Fire the Pyro.
Oh damn.
Oh, wow. Wow, time changes. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. It's there's different types of commentary. Like if I'm commentating a local versus a regional versus a major, it's very different, vibes, very different standards.
Yeah, and there's very like unspoken rules. Like, there's some rules that you don't need to write them to know that, or to say that, oh, you cannot do them on live. There's some rules that are ethically more moral. So, you cannot do political stuff, religious stuff. It's professional. Tone it down. You can do a bit of banter,
Yeah.
but don't abuse it because some people might take it personally. And then,
Yeah, you don't want to alienate viewers. Granted, there are certain people that I'm fine being alienated, of course, if they are otherwise alienating of other people or intolerant like that. But we still generally, I would probably get in trouble for saying that on a tournament stream, like a big tournament stream. So that's okay.
All right, going back to the questions. On a stream you did, I think it was yesterday, you said you were talking about the viewers and the longevity of Smash.
Longevity.
Thank you.
You're
Because
welcome. I'm just trying to help.
I think you were the one who answered me actually. Because I was telling you, oh, it's been 4 years since Smash came out, and you were telling me, well, Smash came out in December, so technically 3 years.
Yeah, it's barely over 3 years.
So, what do you think about COVID? I mean, post-COVID and pre-COVID. Like, times that everything changed when COVID happened. How do you think players adapted during the Smash pre-COVID and then post-COVID?
I think the game obviously changed. A ton of characters were released, which didn't help because like Byleth was barely out before the pandemic happened. So then all of Fighter Pack 2 came out. So like Min Min, Steve, Sephiroth, Sora, Kazuya, they're all very good characters, right? Like all the people in Fighter Pack 2, in my opinion, are very, very strong. But so the game changed that way. People started just understanding how to use their character and like frame data and stuff like that, which kind of elevated the game in a way. Like it was hard necessarily to show it. It was hard to show it during some Wi-Fi sets because it was still Wi-Fi sets. But at the same time, like people like Leo learned Byleth, and Spargo got infinitely better. Oh yeah, Pyramithra came out too. I forgot about that character.
True.
They just, to me, they're a base game. But then Cola got a lot better, and so did SnaX, and so did so many players. I feel like I learned a lot on the Wi-Fi era. And the people that took it seriously definitely have reaped the benefits of it. There are certain players that didn't really take it seriously that are still doing very well, like Light and Mars, because like Mars didn't really like online, and Fox sucks online, so he didn't really do much. And then he still won SmashCon because Fox is absolutely broken. Okay. But I think it's the players have been doing well. I love the state of the game nowadays. I think everyone is really understanding when they can hit their buttons and exactly what buttons to hit in a way that's really, really fun. And I like the character diversity, even with really strong characters like Pyramithra, Min Min, who's still a really good character. Like, you still have the maximum of like 3% of top 64 playing one character, which is still a really, really healthy meta, in my opinion, which is great. I really like the state of the game, the players, the gameplay. It's really good.
And during COVID happened and all that, do you think more people came into the Smash community? Like, you've been all around the world. I mean, all around the tournaments of Smash. Have you seen players, like new players, who were like, oh my, they have huge potential? Like, you didn't expect new people to adapt that quickly or to be more, to surprise on an event. Being the underdog sometimes is fun, but have you met or seen new people you were like, wow, they are really good and I've never seen them?
I would definitely. I mean, I knew of a lot of the good players because I try to pay attention to a lot of people. But one person that I actually learned about was the second best Pikachu, in my opinion, in the world, Shiny Mark. He was someone I had never heard of, and then he suddenly started doing really well in like the Hungry Box tournaments, Juice Box, and he completely just like blew me away. I really like watching his play. He has taught me some things. I know that I should be playing more like him sometimes, but I still don't. But he's just incredibly good. Of course, Spargo went from being pretty good and like one of the better players in SoCal to suddenly a top 2 player in the world. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the Steve mains, like you have Jake, you have Yanni. Just learn. I mean, I'm going. Their characters came out, which helps. But still, like there are so many like different people and different play styles and different like content creators that just they have a lot of fun, it seems like, and they're really fun personalities, and then they're still very, very good. I mean, Yanni getting 9th at Riptide, right, is still incredibly impressive. Spargo is godlike. He is so good. But there's just a lot of good players. I mean, SnaX, of course, as I mentioned earlier, got a lot better. There's been a lot of players that like kind of shirt up their playstyle over Wi-Fi that just started destroying, even if they were already known. You know what I'm saying?
True. People adapted. They weren't like, well, we're not going with C people, so we gotta adapt. And people learned quickly. So I think COVID helped a lot to people who were like really down low on the ranks. And they're like, it's my time to shine now. Because, for example, MK Leo didn't go to, what was the tournament before Smash World Tour? Ah, damn. CEO, thank you. So,
yeah.
MK Leo didn't went to CEO, The Buzz. Other top players didn't go to CEO. So, many people took that advantage and like, I'm going to prosper now. I'm going to go top. I'm going to do better. And we have a friend called Toxin. He did amazing on CEO. I think he went top 60.
Nice.
I gotta find it. So it's pretty.
What character did he play again?
He used PT. He used PT. And
I don't think I saw his sets, unfortunately.
When the stream ends, I'm gonna send you the link. He did amazing. We didn't expect for him to do that great. Oh my! We were happy. We were surprised. But adapting to COVID right now, it's a huge advantage because, again, not many top players are going to risk their lives because of COVID.
Yeah. It's one of those things you have to just like use what you got, Like one of the things that was nice for a lot of people, like obviously nothing was good about COVID, and it was a terrible time in the world. But in terms of the Smash Brothers, it has given a lot of people opportunity to find themselves in the game. And because there were so many tournaments, like on the online era, there was like one big tournament, like a day. So you could just constantly be playing and playing and playing and playing and playing and getting better and getting the experience and playing these top players and just doing everything you needed to do to improve, which, helped a lot of people. So, yeah.
True. All right. A friend of mine was talking about your Pikachu, and I found it interesting because I was going through that. You used to have, or I don't know if you still use it, but Pro Guides. Before Metafy, you were using Pro Guides. Do you still like work on Pro Guides, and do you still like teach other people about your Pikachu or about other characters?
Well, Pro Guides was kind of like a single sponsor thing that I think I did like a couple of videos for them, but it was like a one-time lesson thing.
Okay.
But I do a lot of lessons with Metafy. I mean, I do multiple lessons a week if people want to get better as Pika or just at the game in general, because of course I've played Smash for a long time, so it's not just Pikachu that I understand. I understand like the game at a high level. So yeah, I think it's been awesome to teach people. And it also helps me understand the game in a nice way, because there's a lot of times when I am whatchamacallit,
like surprised of some movements that happen out of nowhere.
No, more so just like I didn't know how to verbalize some stuff, and I would just understand it, but like having to tell someone what you mean or what you're talking about kind of helps you really understand what's going on. Like I never thought about why. Like, I mean, I know what I do is good and I kind of understand the reason why, but like just by playing the game, and I'm like, oh, it's good to do these options here. But then if I have to tell someone about it, it's like, oh, it's good because of X, Y, or Z reason. And
Exactly.
then I can kind of expand my knowledge of the game and understand other characters in a way that kind of relates to a similar thing, which is cool.
Oh, and I was gonna tell you if you don't mind if I put your Metafy through stream, but my
Yeah,
friend
go
already
for it.
did, so it's great. Um,
Hey.
I've seen that you do your Metafy lessons sometimes through the same Twitch. Because one day I
Mhm.
came in and you were teaching someone, and it's pretty nice because you make content, and then they watch a VOD, so it's a win-win situation. So that's
Yeah.
that's a pretty good way to interact. However, going through a funnier side outside of Smash, have you ever had someone who, yes, they want their services, like, oh yeah, Ethan, teach me this, teach me that. But when the day comes that you want to teach them, it's like, oh, let's watch a movie, or oh, let's talk. I finally want to meet you.
I haven't had any of those.
Really, no?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I know it's pretty popular with people like Mewtwo King and Wadi, and there's a couple of other people. I think Aaron has had some,
Okay.
but I actually have not had any. I mean, people have played the first to tens and then just been like talking to me during it, and like in a less serious way because they're like, I'm gonna lose anyway. I'm just using it for time to like talk to you, but nothing like too crazy. Surprisingly, I know that is something that a lot of people do.
That's actually pretty nice because you interact with the viewers and with the people. Because not many people can go to a tournament and like, oh, I met Isam. I mean,
Yeah.
that's great. Like for me, respectively, meeting a top player sometimes feels like meeting a celebrity. Because
Hmm.
maybe you sometimes look up to them. For example, I look up a lot to MVD and Apollo Cage. I'm a Snake main,
Hmm.
so I'm like, I want to be like
Okay.
them. I'm like, I want to
Right.
be
That
like
makes
them.
sense.
So I'm always looking up to them. So if I meet MVD, I might be like maybe flabbergasted. I'm like, oh my, it's MVD.
Yeah.
What do I do? So yeah, people do that. People do that.
Yeah, it's a little easier to meet them online for a little bit as opposed to seeing them face to face, which granted,
True.
a lot of us, I can't say all because I don't want to speak for everyone, but I know very few players that are like against talking to fans or against meeting fans. Like without like, from my perspective, without the fans, I'm just a dude who's good at a video game. Like it's not I don't have entrants, I don't have viewers, I don't have any of that. Like I don't have the success that I have without y'all. So I super
True.
appreciate it. Even if I think I'm just a person, I can be aware that I can be more than that for people, and it's just overall really cool to have like fan interactions. I just like it a lot. It's really fun to meet the people that look up to me.
It's pretty fun now that you talk about like meeting the fans. It's pretty nice to have people that support you along the way, because there's always going to be people who look down on you. So maybe like balancing, like, oh, I have more people who support me, you feel more comfortable, you feel more confident as well, because
Yeah,
you don't have toxic people behind you. So it's pretty
well,
nice always
people
having fan.
yeah people will more frequently make fun of you when they're behind the computer screen, but generally, at
True,
least in
true,
person, you're not going to have people come up to you and be just like, "Hey, fuck you, you suck." Like that's not really
true,
something that
true.
happens in person.
Hey, in Puerto Rico, I usually say this. I'm gonna say in Spanish for my viewers. I'm just gonna say first in English. If you're gonna talk shit behind the keyboard, be prepared when I meet you in person. Like, come
Yeah,
on, bro. I know you. Don't talk shit about anyone.
yeah, of course.
And I'm really positive in the community. So thank God I've had no problems on the community. So it's a very comfortable community. Everyone speaks to each other. Everyone learns. So here in Puerto Rico, it's pretty nice. We have a friend whose name is Gabs. He's pretty annoying, but we love him still.
A
But talk.
random fucking call out. Hell yeah.
No, I love him to death. He's gonna text me later. All right. I was gonna tell you something about, and my pardon me, because I actually invested on the Panda controller you guys were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, oh my god, I was happy. But I know COVID fucked everything up. It's
Chips,
not your
baby.
fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
However,
Dude,
uh-huh.
holding the controller in my hand was super cool. But go ahead.
Yeah, I saw the video. It looked comfortable. It looked
It surprisingly was. Like I was very skeptical before I had used any of it. I was just like, oh man, like it's gonna have like problems, and I'm not gonna like it. Then I held it for the first time, and I was like, oh Yeah, oh, it's good.
And the
Because I'm like
sound it
pretty
makes,
particular.
and the sound it makes when
Oh,
you move it, it's so GameCube. It still has
it's
the
mhm.
authenticity of a GameCube controller.
It was really nice. Like
Tell-
I did not expect it to be nearly as good as it was, and then it was really good.
do you have? I mean, if you can answer this, do you have like one for yourself, like that
No,
you
I
use
don't.
personally? Oh, okay.
I wish.
Oh, okay. So when you did the project, it was like, okay, keep it. I cannot use it.
Well, I would be able to use it. Like it was a functional thing, but it was just from the CEO of Panda,
Hmm.
Samurai Panda. Like he had it, and it was like, oh, try it at CEO, but I couldn't, take it or keep it.
Damn.
I
Oh
wish.
my, that would have been amazing. So, talking about Panda, what's in the works for Panda? Like, what's the next project you guys have?
Honestly, I don't know. I am at this point just a player and content creator for them. I'm not in the back end staff type things.
Okay.
Uh, like sometimes I know projects before. Like I knew what the Panda controller was, and I had known a little bit of like some details of it before they got renounced to the public. But for the most part, I'm kind of in the dark until they tell me, which is maybe a month before they tell the public.
Okay.
Uh, but so I don't know. I mean, it's especially it's keep up the content grind because they do so many. There's so many channels and like content creators on Panda that's super fun. Just growing the brand, and they're still working on the controller through all the other problems
Hmm.
because they still do have those couple of prototypes that are totally fine. But I don't know. I wish I knew. I like knowing things, but
And talking about Panda more in general, I've seen that the same members of Panda, when they stream, they don't usually stream their games. So they're making a variety of games, so they're growing personally as a brand, which is good because maybe me, constantly streaming one game maybe attracts one community in general. But when you like
Mhm,
stream other games, for example, I think, oh my, I forgot his name. When I find it, I'll tell you.
mhm.
But I think one of their members was playing the game of the ball that got needs to go to the finish line. It's fun to watch it because you know that every ball starts like going down
Oh, marbles!
rapidly.
The marbles game where it's like the stream viewers have marbles.
Yes. Oh my god, I love seeing it. It's so
I think that was
fun.
IDW.
Yes, I think it was. It was IBW. I think it was because I saw it. But it's pretty nice because there's variety and you guys interact a lot with the viewers.
Yeah,
Yourself, because I was like, maybe he won't answer, so I'll just tag you and say, hey, what's up? But you do interact. There's some
yeah,
streamers that they don't even do that.
yeah. I mean, sometimes at certain stream sizes, it's hard to interact with a lot of people because if you like, I feel like my channel is like a good number of viewers that still can interact with people because I feel like once you get like into the thousands of viewers, like chat just goes too fast and like you
Totally.
literally cannot interact because you're not gonna be able to read enough of chat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, true. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, I like the fact that I can interact and talk to everyone. It's cool.
We're almost finalizing the stream per se, so I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions.
Okay.
Since you know that the Smash updates be gone, they're finished for now.
Hmm.
What do you think of the future of Smash? Like, do you think that some DLC's character should stay for the next Smash? Do you think Smash 6 or 5, I don't know, might come out?
I think that at the very least, I think I said this on stream the other day. I think it is a minimum of like 4 more years until there's another Smash game even announced. They put so much work into Ultimate. I don't even know if there's going to be another Smash game.
Hmm.
The Switch is also a console that I don't see Nintendo switching from for a long time. I think if anything, it's just going to be like a better Switch,
Yes.
better Switch, and
True,
that's like
true.
about it.
Yeah, because the
But
the OLED came out and like, well, I don't even use the Switch
it's a
alone.
Switch.
Yeah, it's just a Switch, nothing
Yeah.
big.
Exactly. So it's one of those things that Ultimate is an amazing game. I don't know what is in the future for Smash in terms of a new Smash game or anything like that. But at the
Hmm.
same time, you really are able to in Ultimate like really express yourself with a bunch of characters. Like again, we only had about a year and 3 months before COVID happened, and the game was already amazing. And then, of course, COVID happened. It was a year and a half of just no tournaments. And then it came back for about 6 months, and then Omicron is canceling a couple of events. Although I don't think people are like, oh my god, it's back to online forever. Like I don't think that's the case.
Oh, true. People were exaggerating a bit about the moving to Wi-Fi back, because Genesis was in January and they moved it to April. I think Double Down's still on March because I want to go to Double Down, and just change the dates. And if by that time it's still the same, we're gonna keep changing the dates. It's no worries for now. But maybe Wi-Fi is coming back for a bit, but I don't believe it's permanent.
Yeah, I would agree. But it's still going to be fun. I mean, Smash is bigger than it has ever been, at least Ultimate. I can't speak for Melee's numbers because I don't know them as well. But again, Melee has the big streamers that kind of support it, like Ludwig and stuff like that. But at the same time, like there have been so many players. Like the attendance numbers starting from Riptide have been ridiculous, considering there's still a bunch of people that can't travel. There's like caps. There's all these things that just almost every event has reached the cap that it has, and there are still so many people wanting to go to events, and there's registration transfers, and there's so many people just hungry to go to events. So I feel like, eventually when the pandemic actually ends and is not just kind of still here, but people are dealing with it, the numbers are going to explode. Tournaments are going to be so big. It's going to be insane. Because like viewership grew so much, and the interest in Smash grew a ton through the COVID era because everyone was at home and we're like, oh fuck, what am I gonna do? Play video games and watch Twitch, I guess.
Yeah.
So they did that.
All right, I have a friend. His name is Strike. He wants me to tell you if you can say the famous phrase that you do. Pikachu busted.
Pikachu?
Yeah.
Busted. I'm godlike. I'm nice as hell at this game. Pikachu busted. Pikachu busted. Nice.
He was texting me. He was telling me, "Please make him say it. Please make him say it." I got you. I got you guys. So going now. Okay, one question I have from my friend is, what matchup situation would Steve cover for Pikachu, or is it a comfort pick?
The thing about Steve is he's really good versus basically every projectile character that I don't like Samus. Mostly Samus. Most of the Pika projectile characters I'm pretty comfortable with as Pika because of Pikachu's really good rushdown, but Samus's out of shield game is too strong. But then at the same time, characters like Ness who need to like get in your face, and Steve can build a wall and is also kind of a sword character. And then Game & Watch, I think Steve does amazingly well versus Game & Watch. So those were the three main matchups I wanted Steve for. Maybe also Pac-Man, but I don't really know how that matchup goes. So.
All right, that's perfect. Do you think Steve has more potential than Pythra?
No. I think that Steve's bad matchups are still quite bad. Like characters like Cloud and Sephiroth destroy Steve, and even like technically yes, because you can hit someone once and just kill them, no SDI combo, crazy stuff. But it's really hard, realistically, for that to happen and work. So, like, I feel like Pyramithra will always be better than them, just because their neutral is really good. They have overwhelmingly good options just in neutral and stuff like that. Whereas Steve is just way, way harder than them.
Okay. Last question from the viewers, and this is actually a pretty interesting one. What are ESAM's thoughts on the circuit with Nintendo in both Ultimate and Melee?
Again, kind of what I mentioned earlier, even though I know that's Panda, I don't really know the details of that. I don't know what the tournaments are, if they have even already been announced or not, if they are, going to also be under the Nintendo brand. I have no clue. I have zero clue. I think it's really cool. I mean, again, I was a Nintendo ambassador before. I want Nintendo to be more active in the scene. That's what everyone wants. Like, obviously, like, they have burned a lot and they have hurt the scene in several ways, but I feel like if they cared, and if they cared correctly, and if they let the scene, show them with their help, like what it could be, it would be amazing. Like, because that would mean more infrastructure, more people that could get jobs there, more money even if it's not from them, just because like if Nintendo is going, yeah, we're signing off on this tournament thing, then people that aren't competitive Smash players will go, oh, Nintendo has a tournaments thing, and go. I think it could be huge for the scene. I really hope it works well. I have no idea what's going on, but I really hope it's good.
All right. For now, I think I'm gonna end it onto here because it's an hour, and I'm really glad you took one time of your day and was like, "Hey, let me talk to Axel. Let me talk to SnaX for a bit."
No problem.
But
Snaxel.
There we go. Hey, SnaX is actually a combination of Snake and Axel, so it was pretty creative, I believe. Okay, I want you to do one more time your catchphrase, and with that, I'm gone.
Pikachu, busted. Nice.
Guys,
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
Hey man, no worries. I'm really
You're
glad.
awesome.
Oh my God, thanks a lot. I'm really glad to have you here. You can tell everyone I was really nervous. I just left at work.
Fine.
I mean, I believe I did. I'm gonna watch the VOD. I'm like, okay, I think I did good. I'm gonna put it on YouTube and all that. Just But hey, ESAM, it was an honor having you. Hope it's one of the 1,000 of interviews I could do with you one day. And I hope I can see you one day outside of Puerto Rico and finally meet you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Again, everyone, don't forget to follow the stream. Thank you so much for having me, and we will see you all next time. So, good night.
Good night, guys.